Welcome to the T-Pac Arcade. Today's game is Exerion for the Nintendo Famicom. In this 1985 fixed shooter from Tosei and Jaleco, the planet Exerion is under attack by the Zorni Armada, and its fate rests in the hands of the Fighter EX. That's you, by the way, the little cyan spaceship swerving around the screen like he just got off the merry-go-round and can't tell left from right. There's a reason for that, though, because while Exerion follows a basic shoot-'em-up formula of blasting descending waves of enemies, it adds a unique mechanic to the mix: momentum. The programmers must have been fans of old Isaac Newton and his laws of motion, because if you think you can just pivot directions in the blink of an eye, you'd better think again. Exerion is less about twitch reaction and more about calculated anticipation. Learn the enemy patterns and predict where the bullets are gonna be, because you've got to maneuver well ahead of schedule to dodge their fire. And aim your own. It's a pretty neat gameplay feature. Incredibly frustrating, but neat nonetheless. And the same goes for the attack mechanics. The Fighter EX has two different cannons, an unlimited dual shot and a rapid fire shot with a limited bullet count indicated at the bottom of the screen. The rapid fire is super effective, but also a balancing act to use correctly. You lose ammo machine gunning enemies, but you also gain ammo for every bad guy you defeat. It feels sort of like filling a bucket of water with water from the same bucket. Just don't miss too much, and you'll level out perfectly fine. So Exerion features 4 waves per game loop, with a different enemy type in each wave. First, you fight these ambiguous space butterfly things, or later space pinwheel things, in a volcanic canyon. They're supposed to be the easiest enemy, but I always got smoked by them, because they follow you around the screen. And considering the whole dodging with momentum thing, the dodging part wasn't exactly working in my favor. Next is the bird bat pterodactyl dudes in the clouds. They're not so bad because they're predictable, except when the bigger versions show up. See, if you don't lose a life on any given wave, a different enemy waltzes in to spice things up and make your life even harder. And in this case, it's bullet sponge extra large bird bat pterodactyls that absorb a few extra hits and fire at you real fast. You're gonna want to break out the rapid cannon for them. Third is the Cosmic City Wave, which features either these cotton candy satellites that move like they're just as dizzy as you from one too many spins on the space merry-go-round, or these green arrows that pivot in a few different fixed formations. And last but not least, the return of the extra large bird bat pterodactyls. But this time, they're even more lethal, because they've got missiles that turn around when they get to the bottom of the screen and try to bomb your butt off. Not cool. Every 5th level is a bonus round, where you're immune to damage and you just try to pick off as many Zorni formations as possible for extra points and extra ammo. These are fun, because I like being invincible, I like bonus points, and I like the freshly cut lawn in the background. The Exerion landscapers deserve a raise. Exerion is a visual feast, all things considered. The enemies are quirky and distinct and colorful, and the planet's surface has a great perspective scrolling effect that balances nicely with the plain upper playfield to make sure incoming enemies aren't obscured. And best of all, your ship sprite has this super broad range of angle changes that makes your movement look way more dynamic than most shoot-'em-ups. The sound design isn't quite as compelling, since it's mostly just your typical alien invasion buzzing and cannon sounds. But I'll always love the rapid fire and the echoey noise that plays when you blow up an extra large bird bat is pretty snazzy too. Considering the inertia and some tricky enemy behavior, Exerion is pretty challenging as far as fixed shooters go. I practiced with save states and was eventually able to complete 2 loops legit, which was my goal, since that's the point in the game where you've finally seen all the different types of enemies. Speaking of which, my favorite part of Exerion is the bonus point enemy. Occasionally, this derpy little 3-headed dragon thing will meander right through space traffic, looking like a goofball that just accidentally found himself in the middle of an intergalactic laser war. Oh, excuse me, don't mind me, just passing through trying not to miss my bus. He's precious, and I almost feel bad atomizing him with my lasers for a cool 1,000-point bonus. But if I could change one thing here, I'd define the enemy bullets against the scrolling backgrounds a little better. I wouldn't get rid of the fancy perspective or anything, it's just that my amoeba brain can't process more than one moving object at a time. And that's a recipe for disaster here. Overall, in spite of how awful I am at Exerion with its dizzying inertia mechanics, this is one merry-go-round of extra large bird bat pterodactyls and derpy space dragons that I'm more than happy to keep riding.